If you want to be more productive, just be obsessed.
You're listening to the Absolutely Cosmic Podcast.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Absolutely Cosmic Podcast, where we talk about anything self-improvement from the nerdy perspective. I'm your host, Joshua Salgado, and today we're going to talk about how you can be more productive in life. I'm talking to you from a perspective of what I'm currently doing and what I've done over the past year to be the first gym wear brand to ever have a graphic novel tied with it. That'll be soon to publish, hopefully within the next year. So I've done this all while full-time college, right? I'm in the service, as well as I work several part-time jobs to facilitate these goals and dreams of mine. So I'm making this video because I had my own inception, right, over the past few weeks now, actually. So here are a few tips. I'm going to go through them quick, and then I'm going to kind of talk about them. So having top-down goals, set daily and weekly goals, make it easy on yourself to accomplish those goals, and set a focal point on how you're going to engage and actually execute. And what I mean is set aside the distractions. And then the last one we'll get to in a moment, but it puts everything together. So top-down goals, what does that mean? That means setting your goal up at the highest level and then slowly working down from that goal of the executable things that you need to do to get there, to accomplish it. Why is this important? Well, from our inception, when we are babies, right? When we're in preschool, when we're in first grade, when we're in elementary school, we're told dream big, dream whatever you want. And then middle school and high school come around and you're kind of slapped across the face and told, think realistically, just go to school, go to college and get a 9-to-5. And then you go to college, you get the 9-to-5, and you realize deep down you felt like you could have accomplished a lot more. And then sometimes, if you're even daring enough, you go to accomplish a lot more, but you're intimidated by the process, you're intimidated by and then you're intimidated by the idea of what others will think of you, that humiliation. You will be much more productive when you have a top-down goal. If you put your biggest dream at the top, you're going to be much more driven to get after it than someone else's dream or something you don't truly care about and you're just doing for the money. Set daily and weekly goals for yourself that help move you to the top. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I have this mentor. His name is Mr. Project Patrick on Instagram. Go check him out. He's freaking badass. He does like 1,000 push-ups a day, so go check him out. But he put me on this thing that he learned when he was getting into entrepreneurship and business from Andy Frisella. He listened to Andy Frisella talked about this thing called power lists. It's whatever you need to constantly move forward in your dreams and goals. So what I do is I set those daily goals, and then I do weekly goals, like things that might take a few sessions to do or a few hours to do, that if I have a super busy booked up week, I'm going to do that over the course of the week. And this is very important why I place this right underneath the top-down goals, because you will realize that you can move a lot faster towards your dreams, and you will be much more productive if you break it down from the top down, right? All the way down to the power list, right? So if you go from the top, the big goal of becoming the next Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Mr. Olympia, and then actor, right? And you break it down into all the way down until you get to your power list with the 5 most important tasks to do today. You're going to be much more productive. You're going to feel much more productive, and you're going to get more done objectively. Like objectively, if I have 5 things to do today and I get those all done and they set me up for the next step, which is tomorrow, and the next step, you're going to build momentum, and you're also going to actually build the Lego set. You know what I mean? You're going to build the puzzle, right? Make it easy on yourself to succeed. Facilitate the infrastructure to succeed, to be productive. What do I mean by that? So I'll tell you a little story. So back when I was working for Jake Barrett, we actually had him on the podcast. Go check it out. It was probably one of the first podcasts we actually did. So he came on. He owned the company, Barrett Enterprises. If you're in the Connecticut area and you're looking for hydro seeding, soil work, tree work, and I think a little bit of landscaping now and various other stuff, he's jack of all trades. He's an excellent dude. Runs an amazing business. During the time that I was working with Jake, I realized that I wasn't going to the gym much. I was working on the ground, and when you're working tree work, lugging like 80-pound logs all day into the chipper, right, and you're just busting ass because we got to get work done. It's a blue-collar job. We're putting in the work. We're getting it done. When you're doing that, you're going to realize you're a lot tired. As soon as you 3-4 o'clock rolls around and it's time, the shift's over, you realize there's not much gas left in the tank. So every time I'd get out of work and I would come straight home to get my gym clothes, I would end up just showering and going to bed pretty much. So what I decided to do was bring a gym bag with me in the car in the morning or the night before I packed it. And so I'd go directly to the gym. This allowed me and made it easier for me to succeed with my fitness goals because I didn't have a choice. I didn't give myself a choice. So if you do that with yourself, you're going to be so much more productive if you don't give yourself a choice to not do what you need to do, right? Oftentimes procrastination and anxiety go hand in hand, and you just need to do it. So build in the infrastructure, set a focal point, and don't let anything else distract you. No, lock in and focus. Why am I saying this? Because social life, everyone wants to hang out with friends and have a few beers and have dinner and talk the gossip and all that bullshit. Dating, right? You're so focused on getting all these girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever you're into. I don't fucking know these days. You're so interested in dating that you're taking away time and energy that you could be put into what you want to accomplish, to being more productive. If you're going out and partying every weekend, you're wasting time and energy, and it's not even that night. Think about it. The next day, if you drink heavy one night and you're hungover the next day, usually drinking will set me back a day or two because I'm dehydrated, because I feel like shit, because I'm not actually at my A game. And then video games and the death scroll. Listen, if you're focusing so much on video games, you want to get the highest level or the best loot or whatever, you want to win the most on video games, but you're not accomplishing any of your real life goals, or you don't have any real life goals, you're missing out. You're missing out. And that is distracting you from what is important, because those games, well, they're a good release, right? It could be an excellent hobby, but if you have work that you need to be done, you want to be more productive, you got to sacrifice that. And I can guarantee you that at the end of the day, when you sacrifice and you take away those distractions and then you reintegrate them by giving yourself a little reward after accomplishing those goals or working towards those goals for a certain period of time, it'll be much more enjoyable to go out with friends, to go on that date, to maybe have a weekend where you party a little bit, to maybe have a video game night where you play video games all night. If you only have so much time in the day and you're doing things that aren't going to push you forward towards your goal, and you're just randomly doing things, right? Like video games, right? You're just doing it because you're bored. Well, you're bored for a reason, because you need to do something tangible. And if it's not within the confines of what I said, like it's not going to push you towards your goal, then reevaluate, because again, that is what's really taken away productivity. Productivity is not like, I have everything perfectly aligned and organized. Like, that's part of it, having things organized, but it's also like, why am I going to spend 3 hours a day doom scrolling on my phone? There's some people that talk about like setting your phone and Apple Watch to grayscale, because there's less of a dopamine and less of that addictive response, which means you're going to go on your phone less over time. I don't know, maybe just if you're working on something on your computer, you're writing something, you're reading something, whatever it is, right? Set your phone in the room away, because again, like making it easy for yourself, you're not going to get up and go towards it. Same thing with gym. If you have a hard time with diet, then guess what? Don't buy the junk food at the store. Go to the grocery store, get the animal proteins, get the rice, get the beans, whatever it is that's going to keep you healthy, right? That's part of your diet, and stick to it. Don't allow, if you have no self-control, then don't allow that junk food into your house at all, right? If you every day on your way to work, you get a coffee and you don't want to spend that $8 on a Starbucks coffee, then take a different way that goes around or behind that store so you can't get there. So you don't have to go down the road with the Starbucks. And I know it's hard because every road has a fucking Starbucks these days. But you know what I'm saying? Make it easier on yourself, because those distractions add up. And this leads into the last kind of segment that I wanted to talk about. Time times action equals desired result. What I mean is that if for an extended period of time, I do the multiple of an action, right? I am taking action for an extended period of time, there will be desired results. Now, that is the key to productivity. It is not having your phone on grayscale. It is not, never playing a video game again. It is really just doing the things that you know you need to do to get further. And if you're not going to do that, then I'm sorry, but no one can help you, my friend. You have to take the initiative yourself. This is where it comes into you, because we're all given a certain amount of time in the day, 24 hours, right? No one gets more. No one gets more of it, right? And we're all coming from different financial and economical and different backgrounds, right? So obviously we have different resources available to us. But I can tell you that if you take some sort of action now for an extended period of time, you will be far more successful. You will get closer to your desired results. You will be much more productive than ever before. And then even further, how to be more productive. Make it so that there is a checklist. On the airplane, we have a checklist on how to do every single pre-flight, every single airdrop. Everything is checklists. And then we have pubs where we can go deeper into the nerdy side of how things are rigged and done and how things work on the plane. And so if you're struggling to be productive, maybe make a checklist for yourself of what you're trying to do. Budget your time accordingly. Be very, very strict. Again, set this focal point. If your friends, let's say you're starting your own business, right? And your friends aren't respecting you enough. If you tell them, hey, I got to stay in tonight because I'm working on my shit. I'm working on my business, right? Or they're like, hey, come out, and let's go do this. Let's go to the bar or whatever, right? And you just got to work, right? You could either go to the gym or go to the bar and hang out with the boys. What are you going to do? To me, what would make more sense is that sometimes I got to set aside that social life for the gym, because I want to, if my goal is to become better fitness-wise, and this isn't just for fitness. Again, I always use fitness as an analogy, but this is for anything in life. If that is my goal, then I have to be relentless and I have to be unforgiving about who I allocate and what I allocate my time to, and be obsessed. That is the most important thing. If you want to be more productive, just be obsessed about it. End all. That is the end of the podcast.
Thank you for listening. Consider absolutely smashing the subscribe button for more content like this.